Why Spartan captains fought in the front lines, madness or genius. The ancient city-state of Sparta is renowned for its military prowess and unique social system. Among the many distinctive features of Spartan warfare, one stands out prominently: the practice of having captains or leaders fight in the front lines of battle. This approach raises an intriguing question. Was this strategy a display of sheer madness or a stroke of military genius? To understand this, we need to delve deep into Spartan society, their military training, and the psychological and tactical advantages this practice offered. Spartan society and the Agoge. To comprehend why Spartan captains led from the front, it's essential to understand Spartan society and the Agoge, the rigorous education and training regime mandatory for all male Spartans. From the age of 7, Spartan boys were taken from their families and placed in the Agoge system. This brutal training program aimed to instill discipline, endurance, and martial skills. They were taught to endure hardship, pain, and hunger, making them resilient warriors. The Agoge did not just produce skilled fighters, it created a cohesive unit of soldiers who valued loyalty, bravery, and self-sacrifice. By the time a Spartan male reached adulthood, he had been molded into a formidable warrior, fully committed to the collective well-being of Sparta. Societal structure ensured that every Spartan soldier, including their leaders, shared this unyielding dedication to their city-state. Leadership by example in Spartan culture. The concept of leadership by example was paramount. This principle was deeply ingrained in their way of life and was a fundamental reason why captains fought in the front lines. Unlike other Greek city-states, where commanders often directed from the rear, Spartan leaders believed that their presence at the front would inspire their troops and reinforce the values they had been taught. Captain fighting alongside his men demonstrated unparalleled courage and commitment. This act of bravery was not just symbolic. It had a tangible impact on the morale and performance of the Spartan soldiers. Seeing their leaders share the same risks and hardships fortified the bond between the soldiers and their commanders, creating a unified and motivated fighting force. Psychological impact on the enemy. The presence of Spartan captains in the front lines also had a significant psychological impact on their enemies. In ancient warfare, morale played a crucial role in determining the outcome of battles. The sight of Spartan leaders fighting fiercely at the forefront could demoralize opposing troops, who often viewed their own commanders safely positioned at the rear. This stark contrast underscored the Spartans' unwavering resolve and could induce fear and hesitation among their adversaries. Moreover, Spartan captains were not just any leaders. They were elite warriors, often the best fighters in their unit. Their presence at the front meant that the initial clash of battle would pit the most skilled Spartan soldiers against the enemy's front ranks, potentially breaking their lines and causing chaos from the outset. Beyond the psychological and symbolic benefits, there were several tactical advantages to having Spartan captains fight in the front lines. One key advantage was the immediate decision-making capability. In the heat of battle, circumstances could change rapidly. A commander at the front had a better vantage point and could make swift tactical adjustments based on the unfolding situation. This ability to respond dynamically to battlefield developments was a significant asset. Additionally, the frontline position allowed captains to directly influence the combat effectiveness of their troops. They could provide immediate support, encourage faltering soldiers, and even take the lead in critical moments. This hands-on leadership style ensured that Spartan units maintained cohesion and effectiveness even under the most intense conditions. Cultural and ideological underpinnings. The practice of leading from the front was also deeply rooted in Spartan cultural and ideological beliefs. The Spartans held the warrior ethos in the highest regard, and their society was built around the principles of honor, bravery, and sacrifice. The idea that a leader should share the same risks as his men was a natural extension of these values. In Spartan culture, dying in battle was considered the highest honor. The epitaph of a fallen Spartan soldier, "Go tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, that here obedient to their laws we lie," reflects the collective commitment to their city-state. Captains fighting in the front lines exemplified this ultimate dedication to Sparta, reinforcing the cultural norm that personal sacrifice for the greater good was the noblest of deeds. Comparative perspective. Other Greek city-states. To fully appreciate the uniqueness of the Spartan approach, it's useful to compare it with the military practices of other Greek city-states. In Athens, for example, generals or strategoi typically commanded from the rear or a central position, overseeing the battlefield and coordinating larger strategic movements. While this approach had its advantages, It often distanced commanders from the immediate combat experience of their troops. The Athenian model placed a premium on strategic oversight and communication, which was essential for managing the often larger and more complex armies of the Athenian League. However, it lacked the immediate motivational impact of having leaders share the frontline risks with their soldiers. This difference highlights the contrasting military philosophies between Sparta and other Greek city-states, with the Spartans emphasizing direct engagement and personal valor. Case study: the Battle of Thermopylae. One of the most iconic examples of Spartan leadership in battle is the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BCE. King Leonidas III of Sparta, along with 300 Spartans and a few thousand allied Greeks, made a legendary stand against the vastly superior Persian forces, led by Xerxes of Eros. Leonidas fought at the front lines, exemplifying the Spartan ideal of leadership. By example, the courage and determination displayed by Leonidas and his men, fighting to the death despite overwhelming odds, became a symbol of heroic resistance and sacrifice. Their stand at Thermopylae had profound psychological and strategic impacts, boosting Greek morale and delaying the Persian advance, allowing the Greek city-states to prepare for further resistance. Challenges and risks. Despite its many advantages, the practice of leading from the front was not without its challenges and risks. The most obvious risk was the potential loss of leadership. A captain fighting in the front lines was more vulnerable to injury or death, which could lead to a sudden and potentially destabilizing leadership vacuum during critical moments of battle. To mitigate this risk, Spartan military organization included clear chains of command and succession plans. Even if a captain fell, another leader was ready to step in and continue the fight. This organizational resilience was a testament to the thoroughness of Spartan military planning and their understanding of the inherent dangers of their leadership style. On Spartan leadership, the concept of leaders sharing the same risks and hardships as their subordinates is not confined to ancient Sparta. In modern military theory and practice, the value of leaders leading by example is widely recognized. Officers who demonstrate bravery and a willingness to share the dangers of combat often inspire greater loyalty and performance from their troops. In contemporary organizational and business contexts, the principles of Spartan leadership can also find relevance. Leaders who are willing to engage directly with their teams, understand their challenges firsthand, and demonstrate a commitment to shared goals often foster stronger, more cohesive, and motivated teams. Conclusion: madness or genius? So, was the practice of Spartan captains fighting in the front lines madness or genius? The answer lies in a nuanced understanding of Spartan society, culture, and military strategy. While it undoubtedly carried significant risks, the practice was deeply embedded in the Spartan way of life and offered considerable psychological, tactical, and symbolic advantages. The courage and commitment displayed by Spartan leaders not only inspired their troops, but also instilled fear and uncertainty in their enemies. This leadership style reinforced the core values of Spartan society, ensuring that every soldier, from the lowest ranks to the highest, was bound by a shared sense of duty and honor. In the end, the genius of this approach lay in its ability to unify and motivate the Spartan warriors, creating one of the most formidable military forces of the ancient world. The legacy of Spartan leadership continues to be a source of fascination and inspiration, illustrating the timeless power of leading by example. If you enjoyed this epic journey, please subscribe to our channel for more thrilling historical tales. Don't miss out on new videos. Hit the notification bell to stay updated.